What's good, YouTube? Nappy92 here, back again, once again, and today, people, it's Thursday, so you know that means we have another top 5 Pokemon ready to go. Last week, you all could choose between either Fire-Type or Electric-Type for this week's top 5, and it went back and forth for a little bit, but eventually, Fire-Type won. I guess the Fire-Type fans didn't like losing to Water the week before, so they weren't having any of that again. Anyways, I've been meaning to mention this for a couple weeks now, but in my personal top 5s, I will not be including any legendary Pokemon. Towards the end of the series, I do intend to do a top 5 legendary series as well, so I kind of want to save all of them for them. But at the same time, this top 5 is 100% opinionated, and if you don't agree with it, feel free to leave your top 5 in the comment section below. And at the end of the day, I can't tell you who you can and can't have in your top 5. So if you feel the need to include legendaries, then by all means, include legendaries. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get right into this week's top 5 countdown. Starting off our countdown this week, appropriately in the 5th slot, we have a 5th gen Pokemon, the one and only Volcarona. Now, I know last week I kept using the term beast and monster and all that crap, but I mean, Volcarona is a beast, yo. I mean, just the combination of bug and fire at the same time. His stats are incredibly off the charts for what he is. He's just a straight monster when it comes to battle. At the same time, if you look at his description in the Pokedex, this dude is like 5'4" or some shit like that. He's a gigantic bug. Like, some of you watching this right now, compare that to yourselves. Take how high you are, how tall you are, and compare it to a 5'4" moth. This thing is literally a monster. So that's why he has the number 5 slot in this week's countdown. The one and only Volcarona. I mean, do I need to say any more? Do I really need to say any more? Motherfucker Volcarona. In the number 4 slot, we have to go OG, old school, just like we did last week with the water type, with the one and only Arcanine. Just like Poliwrath last week, Poliwrath was in the number 4 slot. Arcanine, you cannot look at Arcanine and say, you know what, dude, that Pokemon is stupid. You just can't do it. I mean, you'd be lying to yourself and everyone around you if you tried to do that. Arcanine is just cool. Like, I can't even use any other word to describe it. I would say beast, I would say monster, but I mean, that doesn't even fit him. Arcanine is just cool. He was one of those Pokemon that everybody always wanted. You know, when I did my Soul Silver playthrough, I honestly would have gotten an Arcanine. Except he's not available in Soul Silver. He's in motherfucking Heart Gold. I gotta deal with Vulpix. You know what? Vulpix and Entails ain't even on the countdown. But Arcanine is. So anyways, Arcanine is the number 4 Pokemon for our top 5 Fire-type Pokemon. Deservingly, I might add. Coming into the number 3 slot this week might have been predictable by some of you. It is Darmanitan. As a matter of fact, I believe someone left a comment on last week's episode saying something about if I did do Fire, Darmanitan would have to be in here. And, I mean, if you saw my top 5 favorite Pokemon, which is what originally started off this series, then you should have absolutely seen this coming, because Darmanitan took the 5th slot in that episode. I mean, you guys know me. I am 100% offense all the time. No matter what, I want to hit somebody, and I want to hit them hard. And that is exactly what Darmanitan is. This dude is 100% attack, 100% power all the time. And I think the combination of fire and fighting, I mean, you got other fighting type Pokemon that know Fire Punch and whatnot. I mean, Darmanitan can know that too, but Darmanitan has so many other things attributed to him as well that just makes him dominate in both types, period. That's why I love the dude. That's why he's number 3 on our countdown this week. Now, speaking of Soul Silver, since I brought it up talking about Arcanine, you had to have seen the number 2 slot for this week coming. Number 2 this week, we have the one and only Tit Duck himself, Magmar. I call him Tit Duck because look at his forehead. He's got a pair of titties on his forehead, and he's a lava duck. I mean, you guys, like I said, I'm 100% offense all the time. All the time. Darmanitan's all physical, Magmar is all special. I mean, it's coverage all around. Magmar is awesome to me for the same reason that I like Poliwrath and Arcanine, because he's OG. He's like one of the original fire types. And honestly, I'm not a huge fan of Magby. I'm even less of a fan of Magmortar. I think they just straight clowned Magmar with him. I don't like him at all. But Magmar himself is amazing, and that's why he's number 2 on this week's countdown. Coming into the #1 slot this week, we have the one and the only Charizard. Now, I know last week for the Water-type Pokemon, we had to split the starters because there's some of them that are they're just too good. But when it comes to fire starters, do any of them beat the original? Do any of them beat Charizard? Typhlosion, maybe. Blaziken, absolutely not. Infernape, absolutely not. And let's not even talk about Emboar. Stop. Charizard was probably a lot of people's first fire-type Pokemon, period. Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard. I know he was for me. He was a huge influence on me when I played Pokemon first gen when I was not even yay high. You can't even see my hand right now, but I was yay high. So Charizard, that dude, he'll always have his own little place for me when it comes to fire-type Pokemon. So that's why he's got the crown. He is the king of the fire-type Pokemon. One and only motherfucking Charizard right there, nigga, yeah! So there you have it, people. That is our top 5 for this week. The top 5 fire-type Pokemon. As I said at the beginning of the episode, make sure you leave your top 5 favorite fire-type Pokemon down below as well. And smash that like button for me if you enjoyed this week's episode. Now for next week, our choices are going to be Electric once again, or Grass. We're kind of like working our way through the main primary types before we head on to some more of the out there types. It'll be interesting to see if Electric follows in the footsteps of Fire and ends up being next week's top 5, or will it lose 2 weeks in a row? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Make sure you all vote for which type you want to see next week. Hit that like button for me if you haven't. And as always, people, thank you for checking out the video. You know me, YouTube. NappyBoy92. I'm out. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Do you guys remember what tomorrow is? If you don't, let me go ahead and play a little reminder for you right about now. Team Rocket, Team Plasma, Team Aquan, Team Magmar, never in the one that I can't handle. I told you I'm the best, the Pokemon master. They try me and they fail, but I don't get caught up in the game. But it's hard not to be the best when they know champion is your name. I said Team Rocket, Team Plasma, Team